to a special remote edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. We're on the road today. That means I'm happy because I'm going to be
your whole mood has changed. It's great.
We're coming to you live from Even Keel Fish Shack in beautiful, breezy Lauderdale by the sea. We're at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard. If you want, come on out. It's kind of a upside down, topsy-turvy Thursday because usually we come to Even Keel on a Wednesday, but this week it's a Thursday, and that's mighty fine. Hurricane Ian has passed through our area, and it's a beautiful day. It actually feels like the first day of fall in Florida. Yeah. You know, you got that breeze, and it's not all the humidity. Unfortunately, in order to get this beautiful weather, it came at the expense of one of the worst catastrophic storms in the history of our fine state, and we are obviously thinking and pulling for the people of Southwest Florida. We'll talk more about that later. Defo, how are you today?
I'm good. It's always great when these things finally pass and you see what exactly we're dealing with. Unfortunately, like you said, wow, it did not look favorable for our friends on the west coast of Florida, which we have many. I've often talked about my trips over there were largely involved with trying to repair a relationship that had gone south, and we called it the Green Mile of Love there at Alligator Alley because it was a kiss of death for me. But always enjoyed the beauty, and, it would hit you when you were over there on the west coast of Florida. Hey, why don't I move here or consider it? Because it's so pretty over there, and everything is so tranquil and nice. And you go in the water, you see dolphins, going by, and all kinds of stuff that's different. Very mellow over there, but wow, I hate seeing any part of this beautiful state destroyed.
No, it's tough.
It's really catastrophic what happened over there.
You've been in this town for over 40 years. I've been here for 33 years. We've been through storms. Hurricane Andrew was the worst for us and our side. We've been through Wilma, and that caused a lot of, it caused some disruption and a little bit of roof damage. And you didn't see images like this where you have storm surge. This is what everybody's heard from downtown 4 feet of water. We don't want to overreact because human resilience and you assess, you regroup, you thank that God that you're still alive and breathing, and then you put back the pieces. Because I remember when Superstorm Sandy came through parts of Brooklyn, and again, a storm surge there in parts of Coney Island, Sheepshead Bay that have been around for generations that had 6 feet of water up to the walls.
Oh, geez.
And they're back and they're reopened and they rebuilt. So these places that today look like they're complete wipeouts.
It looks like Venice, after a couple of days. It's amazing.
But the water withdraws. Hopefully people have the proper flood insurance and things like that. And if not, there's other programs in place. Meanwhile, the immediate thought is people who might be stranded in their homes and people who need food and, they're without electricity. They need water. And that's where I wrote something today on the Let's Eat group, and we're simulcasting, as always, on Let's Eat South Florida, almost 90,000 strong. And what I wrote today is, look, today, we're going to see images of utter destruction, devastation, despair. But there, what we can do on this side is, one, there's all these aid relief organizations, worthy ones like the Red Cross, American Red Cross, the Salvation Army, and one that really food related that really jumps in and immediately goes to work. Jose Andres, the chef who started World Central Kitchen, and I put a link up on the Facebook group that World Central Kitchen, WCK.org. They are there. They have mobile crews that are coming in from all over the state with chefs and trucks and hot food, and the amount of food that they can prepare and serve to people right away, like 24 hours after disaster, it's truly impressive. They've gone into Haiti after earthquakes. They've gone into the Ukraine in the whole beginning stages of this invasion and war by Russia. They go anywhere and everywhere. And now today they're on the southwest coast of Florida, feeding people and giving them warm meals and giving them some sustenance and hope and encouragement. So it's a worthy cause. I've already kicked in my few shekels. And again, it's one of those organizations where they really know what they're doing and they bring immediate help. And right now, the most important thing is making sure people are safe. I hope we don't have another Katrina, New Orleans situation where we have people maybe trapped in their attics and going to be punching holes through their roofs at some point. these are the things that will unfold over the next few days. But all I know is this, Defo, and I'm sorry for the soliloquy, but please.
No. You're going stronger. You're saying the right things.
But please, on Let's See South Florida for a couple of days, let's get some perspective. And if your delivery order comes in late, or if your restaurant experience goes bad.
No, I'm still mad. What are you talking about?
Do not post about how it took you 40 minutes to get your entrees and they brought the wrong one and the fish was overcooked
for extra $3.
Right. And then
it's heartening though when you see these kind of things. And I, first clips I saw this morning were of first responders, firemen in this case, and they were in, I believe, I don't know, Osceola County or someplace, and it wasn't overwhelmingly devastating, but there were people trapped. And the bravery and, the symmetry and synthesis of the community that comes together in these kind of catastrophes is always heartening, especially in this era that we're in right now where you say that you like ketchup on your potatoes and I say go bleep yourself.
Exactly.
And then we never speak again, because everything is so divisive. So nice to see that. That's one of the good aspects of it. But, wow, horrific pictures of the damage that was done there. Yeah.
When push comes to shove, it's nice to see like the politics taken out of politicians yesterday, and you see leaders like Governor DeSantis
blamed Biden for not paying enough attention with global warming.
No, he didn't. Come on, stop that. Right now, Biden is pledging support to Florida. DeSantis is going to be working with Biden. We're not far away from the midterms. Obviously, everybody's going to be exploiting it or hoping to exploit this for their own political gain at some point. But I think right now everybody's heart is in the right place. They do want to bring relief. And,
it's a tough save, though. That reaches out
on a personal level. I think Floridians, I know people that, friends of mine or acquaintances that have welcomed in people who came from Sarasota, who fled the storm. I think Sarasota is okay because they ended up being on the dry, non-storm surge side. But I've already put out I have a friend of mine's mom is, in her 80s and is living in a senior community in Naples. They're without power. Thank God they're dry and inland. But I've already extended the offer. I said, hey, if you don't have power for a few days, you want me to come over there and drive you over and stay at my guest room? More than welcome.
You made that offer?
Yeah. That's the magnet.
Would you win a poker tournament or something?
No, I have an extra guest room, and people. You feel for people who are older and maybe can't get around so well and won't do so well if there comes back, oppressive heat and humidity and there's no air conditioning or power. We've been through that with
Take a sip of that, Lubie. That thing looks too good.
Well, I wanted to say is, and I was a little younger during Andrew, but that's the one thing I actually remember the most about Andrew was, even though it was in Miami and South Florida, even before the internet, South Florida was always fun. I remember everyone coming together in such an interesting way that, like, we didn't complain, we didn't bitch and moan. We were there to help everyone.
You meet your neighbors, you help your neighbors. You have these mass cookouts at your food as it starts defrosting. You just cook everything up, and everybody chips in, and you have your coolers. And some people, you share things. There was also the ugly side where there was looting and people guarding their homes with shotguns and
price gouging.
Look, every storm brings out the best and the worst in humanity. Let's just hope we keep seeing the best. And meanwhile, on this side, all we can do is chip in, help, do what you can in any way you can. That's what I urge, because we are our old neighbors, and there, but for the grace of God, go we. I mean, look, one day this will happen on this side. And when these storms, when you see them coming, you just want them to go far away. And if it's going to hit somebody, it's like, oh, I hope it's a not densely populated area. And selfishly, when you say, well, better them than us, but it's better that it would be nobody. And it's sickening to see this, but again, there will be better days ahead. And all we could say is we're going to enjoy ourselves on this side and offer the support and help we can. And let's get back to the business of having some fun,
eating and drinking.
Raise a glass, say
Mike Mayo. That looks pretty powerful. This Bloody Mary.
Got the Bloody Mary here.
That was to your satisfaction, because you're very picky about this, and you will condemn somebody and go Sorvino and turn your back on them.
It is
if they don't make a good
and
Bloody
like
Mary.
I said, Defo, perspective today.
Yeah,
I mean.
You wouldn't complain if it was bad?
It's not bad. And I appreciate there's ice that's cold. There's vodka that's alcoholic, like myself. They got a celery stalk. They've got a lemon wedge.
It's all laying on the
you're
top.
getting a little, all right. You're getting a little antsy there. But I got olives. It's a beautiful thing. I love starting the day with a Bloody Mary at the Keel. And on weekends, they have these weekend brunches.
No, we got to do a brunch.
Saturday and Sunday, they have their special brunch menu. They have some beautiful things like lobster Benedict. Brad and Dave here, they always put on a good show, and they always are tinkering and bringing new menu items. And we're going to see a couple of them in a couple of minutes ourselves.
Beautiful.
Meanwhile, gentlemen, believe it or not, amidst all this storm stuff, there's a Dolphins game tonight. The Dolphins are 3-0 and ranked number 1 in ESPN's Power Poll. How times have changed. Talk about a topsy-turvy Thursday, huh?
Yeah,
I'm putting it to you, sir.
I'm trying to be optimistic about it, but we had an interview on our Believe podcast earlier this morning, and that's up for consumption on BLEAV podcast.com or network.
BLEAV.
Brandon Lang, the great Brandon Lang, who they based the movie 2 for the Money on. And he was a McConaughey character. They based this on his
prognosticator.
He was a sports handicapper, and he's been on the cutting edge of this for a long time. But very, very good at what he does, and has a terrific perspective. He knows that, like, even if you're the best of the best, you're going to take streaks where you have tough beat after tough beat, and you're not going to win all the time. But he was convinced that this is just by situational handicapping a terrible spot for the Miami Dolphins.
This has letdown game written all over it.
Well, and all the circumstances.
Not that anybody should with the hurricane.
And going on the road, and they had to go to Cincinnati. They're probably stuffed with Skyline Chili, so they're probably going to be on the toilet right up until game time.
Yeah, sometimes that could be a good.
Your suggestion, by the way, I'm glad we didn't adhere to it, which was to go to Skyline Chili for the show today.
When you think
I would much rather be here than Even Keel.
Of course, we're going to get a much better.
Nothing against Skyline.
I almost had I almost bought it at Publix last night, the frozen one, but
that would have been a mistake. Yeah,
I might still have it.
You notice that they have stacks of that in the frozen food section there. Like, you can't find a Gavila's Canisius all the time, but you can find the Skyline Chili frozen. Yeah.
So we know that you have disdain for Skyline Chili.
It's not really disdain. I just like to bust your
it's disdain, and you were a good sport about it when you lost your Super Bowl bet earlier this year. Even though the Bengals didn't win, they did cover, so that meant you had to buy us lunch.
So I've had bad luck with the Bengals, you would have to say.
Yes. So, but let me get back talking about bad luck. I was the worst last week on your Friday morning, the Defo show where we talk sports, and I put on my gambling gourmet hat. I've tried my hand at NFL and football handicapping.
Yeah.
I went a good 0-3 last week. So all the people
teaser too, which you got.
That's what I got clobbered on because I had the right inclinations on. I thought the Dolphins were gonna possibly win the game cover.
Yeah.
But I got cute with that whole over-under thing.
Over-under teaser,
and it looked great going into halftime. There were points going, first quarter, a lot of points. And all I know is I went 0-3 last week. So just go against my picks and you'll be a winner.
Fool and his money are soon
I love
separated.
Seattle at home. Forget about it. I love Kansas City against the Colts, who looked utterly pathetic the first 2 weeks. Kansas City just totally laid an egg.
Yep.
And I got tripped up on the teaser bet. But here, I am willing to stake. I'm not betting you guys anymore or anything.
We still owe you like $25.
Well, you owe us. You owe me, and I owe you for the whole blown weight loss thing.
Yeah.
That was just terrible.
Oh, we're going to the fish shack on that. That's a different fish shack, Lighthouse Point.
But yeah, so that kind of turns out to be a wash. We'll go to the fish shack. You pay the first $50, and then I got to fork over the rest because of
you probably get out of there pretty cheap. Yeah,
just being a undisciplined. What do you call it? Gluttonous pig. I can't stay away from the food. But tonight, again, I think the Dolphins, they're getting 3.5 points, right, against the Bengals. The Bengals look really bad the first couple of weeks. Yeah. They woke up a little bit. Again, they were in the Super Bowl.
They played the Jets, though.
Yeah, I know. So who do they? Yeah, but they are, defending AFC champions. They're back home. The Dolphins short week. The Dolphins starting off 3-0. Really,
quarterback sketchy.
Quarterback is going to be either out of the game or banged up. So I think this is like a heavy, heavy plunge on the Bengals, which means the Dolphins will probably win. But
unfortunately, there's a double kiss of death factor here because I just got my text from my buddy Francesco, whose action I've been booking. And he's only 3 games under 500 so far this year. He came back a little bit on the colleges last week, but he hates the Dolphins and he took the Dolphins.
Wow.
Hates the Dolphins and took the Dolphins.
I think this is great for you.
Oh, excellent for me. I expect to be up 4 games.
I am a Dolphins fan this year. Again,
I hope they win it. I really do. Even if I lose the bet, I hope they win this game.
I've got action on the Dolphins. The money, the season win total at 8.5. So I'm 3 down, and I just need 6 to go.
We steal one if we win this one tonight.
And
Sure.
if they get to 4-0,
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's looking like pretty good.
Never mind your degeneracy.
What also is looking
Look
what's coming
pretty
here
good
at
is
Even Keel
the fish and
Shack.
chips that they have here at the Keel. Look at these. These are beer battered
Now, are
fish
you
and
gonna eat
chips.
one
It's
whole
dolphin,
one in
right?
one
They
bite?
don't, they don't do cod.
They're
or
a little
whatever
bit,
schmanky
again,
fish.
we got to show this on the platter
that
here.
looks great.
This
is the fish and chips?
Yeah, fish and chips.
Is it on the specials?
It's on the menu.
Okay.
It's been a staple of theirs.
Oh, beautiful.
I recommend it to people when they come here if they're into the fried fish because they do the fresh cut fries here. It's beautiful.
Now, if you come at happy hour, is this among the items? It's half price. What's that? 4 to 6?
No.
It is not.
No,
No,
okay.
there's a meal.
But they
it's a
use
solid
these
meal,
beautiful. I believe it's fresh mahi.
though. I think
that
it's
they
dolphin.
Yeah, that looks
I'm
great.
sorry, mahi.
Wow.
Mahi.
Yeah.
Like instead of
we might have to
cod or
cut up a
something, they
piece
use
there,
real
And again,
deal
if you
mahi.
could see it, the little flourishes they put here, they have a beautifully sliced lemon that you could squeeze on it for your little bit of
Yeah,
tartness.
Nice.
And then they even have
sides.
the pits removed. You know how we squeeze
Yeah,
the lemon
yeah.
and you get the pits everywhere, and
took
then
the
you eat
pits out? Wow.
Nothing worse than eating a lemon pit.
a
That
pain
is
in the
the
ass.
worst sour sensation. But here, it's peeled lemon, all the accoutrements, a little bit of tartar sauce, a little bit of it looks like slaw,
Ketchup.
and they got these little shaved.
Maybe not ketchup.
You have to
chives.
try one, Mike Mayo. Come on. Never
You
mind the
got to.
fries.
Well,
here.
I'm waiting. I'm
Bite
doing
into
the
one. That might be
smart
real
thing
hot,
because
though, if
it's
you
right
get a
out of the
giant
fryer, and
bite.
I'm going to
Yeah,
dunk
yeah.
this thing.
What is that?
And
What
again,
is that
we are
sauce you
here
use
at
there?
Even Keel Fish Shack, Lauderdale by the Sea. Beautiful breezy day. The sun is out. People are going to the beach.
Mayo.
This is hot. I can feel it. I'm going to burn myself, but I'm going to
Don't
because it
burn
wouldn't be a
yourself.
lunchbox
All right, here
now
we go.
without Mike Mayo
Go
eating.
ahead. I'll describe it while you eat this thing because
Defo's
it's impossible to
become
do
the
both. There you
worst.
go, Mike Mayo.
Oh my God!
Pretty
That
significant bite.
oil like squirt
Not
out.
as usual. Not as usual.
Nice.
Crunchy.
It wasn't
Okay,
as
what do you
sloppy
think?
as normal.
You like it?
It's delicious. I mean,
Explodes
It's
the flavor in
delicious.
your
Yeah, the
mouth.
microphone.
Yeah.
the crispness. You can see this. You can't really see it,
I
but
like the way you hold that little fraction of
There's-
this thing up.
there's- the batter
fragment.
that he uses, like you could see holes through it. It's not greasy at all.
I got to get in on a bite on that, man.
It's got that perfect
Yeah,
crunch.
just grab one. There's three.
And
It's perfect.
This looks good.
man, that's good stuff. So,
I'm going to
Fish
cut
and
mine
chips?
like a human being, though.
oh no, I'm going in for another
Go
bite.
for it. I'm here.
I
I
can't
got you,
do
too.
I can't do a double dip. I'll have to go without
You
the
can. It's fine.
without
Or
the
pour
tartar
some
sauce.
on your plate,
Oh yeah, let's
Mayo.
do it.
Jesus.
Just one of many
you
great
raised a
items here,
child.
too.
How did
at
you?
the
And your
Even Keel
daughter is
Fish
very
Shack, yeah.
bright and classy. Like, how did you do
How
that?
did where did I
your
go?
your ex-wife, whatever you want to
Yeah.
call her, did an amazing job. I don't know if any of it came from you. Look at this. Look, like that's amazing what he can do with his mouth.
Okay.
Andy, you are 100% correct.
Is that why you guys broke up? Because she was
Yeah, he
tired
was
of
a
seeing you
slob,
at the
exactly.
dinner table? Yeah.
The disparity.
She still invites him over for
I
dinner,
know,
which
which
is
is
amazing.
weird.
She was
Yeah.
so tired of so many things, but
I can, look at this
So
piece
much
of fish,
better.
man.
Look at- isn't that
Yeah, it's
beautiful?
nice and beautiful.
That looks great.
That's
I'm
a
going to
beautiful
try
piece of
this.
fish.
not dry at all. It's
No, it's
the
nice.
word I'd use for the interior is succulent. It is
Yeah.
moist and succulent
That
on
was
the
great.
inside.
Yeah, that looks
That was
amazing.
You like that?
I
We gotta
really
get Lubie a piece.
I will. I just want to
Wow.
make sure someone's
No,
talking.
oh,
We're
yeah,
doing a
he's
That's
show.
exactly the way I like it.
He's
Someone
got to be
has
the man
do
at the
show.
control.
I remember the first time I went to the Isla Morada Fish Company. I was talking about it the other day in Isla Morada, the original place.
Yeah, it's a good
And,
place. Still there.
I could
right?
not believe how fresh the fish were, even in a dish that had like fried fish. And there are certain places where you notice the difference. This is fantastic. I mean, absolutely delicious. The exact way that you would want a piece of fish that was fried
It's
in
beautiful.
anything.
Well, and also a lot of the time because it's fried and
The
battered,
lemon is a big
they
key
give
there,
you,
too.
you know, the ant fish. This is a
Wow.
top. Like to go with
So
mahi mahi. For
people might
this is
not
amazing.
realize this. You know, I'm used to be the food critic of the Sun Sentinel. Believe it or not, even though the disgusting ways that
No,
I
it's
eat,
hard for people that watch you
actually
eat on this
impressive.
show to remember that, or even
Yeah.
acknowledge that
but
you
I
were the
do
food
have
critic.
high standards when it comes to food, and notwithstanding my love of Skyline Chili, not just any place gets to become a sponsor of the Lunchbox. There are standards. Like I'm not just going to go out and associate myself with any Tom, Dick, or Harry restaurant. It has to be
You can't afford
Good.
to ruin your reputation at this stage.
and Even Keel. They make the cut in with flying colors because
That is
Brad
great.
and Dave here, they care about their sourcing of the fish and the quality of the presentation, and they're always working on coming up with new dishes. I think we might see one in a couple of minutes.
I think that's why Brad isn't here, because he's out fishing right now on the beach, like a
Honestly.
few feet away, and
Well,
brought this in.
Honestly,
That is great. Really a good job. What I'm always impressed with Brad is the attention to detail. And that's always impressive. Any of the places that we've gone, where
Yep.
they start to, and you get into this stuff when you start going into your, food critic vernacular. But I mean, they really care about like the most minor thing. Like I just roast up and I would throw this in a fryer and I wouldn't care. And he pays attention to even the smallest percentage of spice that goes into the dish that makes all the difference. And
those
what
little
it
touches that
consists of.
separate the
really
ordinary from excellent. And
that is great. That is really, really good.
And, last time we were here, it was sandwich month. He made us some of those lobster rolls.
The lobster roll was great.
A lot of places they just, poach a lobster. They pull out the meat. They'll chop up and save the tail for some lobster tail special and just use the knuckles and just put it on a bun. But here they used like the entire part of the lobster, and he drenches it in that, the Fresno chili lime butter. That it's that extra touch of having those elements where you get a little
He's
bit of
done that
heat.
here. I don't know what he's put into it. You'll have to ask. But
he uses, believe it or not, Hooray beer. Red Stripe is the beer he uses for the beer batter on this fish and chips.
That's why I ordered one. I thought it would be very compatible. I'm kind of getting like you, where you're gonna have a certain wine with a certain. If you order the Pigeon, you're having the Pinot Noir. I'm getting like you with the pairings.
So if you haven't been out here, again, they've been in this location now. I've lost track of time. It's going on, I think, almost 2 years. That it's open air. It's right down the block from the beach. You can see the pier at the end of Commercial Boulevard. You get that really beachy Florida vibe. You can come in flip-flops. It's not fancy, but the food is elevated.
Yeah.
And they have the weekend brunch. I think they have it with the bottomless mimosas and drinks that you could do the add-on if you're inclined to do so. Me, I'm a 1 or 2 drink guy now, so I don't do those kind of deals.
We've seen you overindulge. I mean, this isn't Mrs. Paul's, that's for sure. No. But a lot of people ask on Let's Eat South Florida, and you see discussions about fish and chips in particular as a dish that a lot of people like. And I can't imagine you could get a better.
Well, this is different. Like
addition of it.
Taste the quality of
you
fish.
See these? These are 3 big hefty ones that could easily feed 2 people. You could share this with another one of their appetizers.
Feeding 3 are very satisfactory.
It goes for $25. But again, when you're getting this quality of fish and this fresh cut French fries, it's not like just something that fell off a truck frozen. They take care of all the quality.
This wasn't Restaurant Depot,
where
they went and bought the stuff.
Like that's amazing.
Fantastic.
And Brad and Dave, they have a fleet of local fishermen that they deal with, that they get some of the great stuff. Like I think we're going to be seeing a whole fish that they sometimes prepare. Sometimes they have swordfish on the menu.
Nice.
Again, that's coming.
You were great with that too. The way you dissected that thing.
Oh yeah, I'm like
you obviously learned
like a
something.
surgeon.
Yeah, when
like
you were doing the food reviews.
Fish. I don't know, but all
right. So you give this is 4-star stuff here, no question.
Yeah, no.
This place is. Again, now that the weather is getting better and I can feel that cool breeze and
beautiful
the humidity is breaking, this is the place you want to be. It's 4-star food, and the service is with a smile. Jason, the general manager here now, is doing a terrific job. And you could sit outside, inside.
You could be a 1-star person in terms of your food taste.
Yeah.
And realize that you're in a 4-star place at reasonable 1-star price.
The happy hour is amazing.
No snooty pooty.
Happy hour deals with those grilled oysters we love. So we love Even Keel. Thank them for having us out here once a month. And I want to put in the good word for now before we go into our first break. But sing words of praises tonight. Dolphins, Bengals. It's on Amazon. It's also on a local channel. I think it's 33 or 30.
33, I think, is going to carry.
Yeah.
Although 39 has like the pre and
game
post
show with Ethan Skolnick. But 33.
They're taking off Wheel of Fortune rerun.
Amazon Prime. But the best place to watch it is at a sports bar, and my sports bar is Shenanigans. Our friend Pat Utter. There's 2 locations, Shenanigans. He's a huge Dolphins fan. He's excited. He might be out there wearing his big Tua jersey now because he's on board. He's a believer. And Shenanigans, the original location right across from TY Park in Hollywood on Sheridan Park Road. My location is 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Big, beautiful, spacious
that's a great
room.
Sports bar.
They have a breezeway, so you could sit outside. If you're a smoker, you could smoke in the breezeway. They have a barbecue area, which is more like family, big tables. On that side, they have the classic sports bar area. All the TVs are going to be tuned to Dolphins tonight. You want to go there any day of the week for any sporting event because they've got a beautiful menu, burgers, those great chicken wings. They have barbecue items from the smoker, Uh-oh, and here comes Jason.
Oh, here's that whole fish
The
thing.
whole
Wow,
snapper,
look out.
and that's got my name on it.
We need to
So
get rid of the
we
French
love
fries
Even
now.
Keel.
Those French fries are
I think
amazing.
that fish was named Mayo.
Yeah, there we go. Here we go. Jason is
Look at
dropping
this beautiful fish.
the red
Look at
snapper.
that thing.
Oh, look
Wow.
at that. Look at those things he's got. Oh, it's yellowtail. Okay.
Looks fantastic.
Correction, yellowtail. It looks fantastic. Fennel caper cream sauce. Little bit of, I see, chopped scallions. And again, those lemons, the way that you get all the pits out of the lemons before those little touches are what makes Even Keel.
I love it. I love
place
on top,
for me when I want.
You're not expecting something like this at a beach place that's open.
No.
Something of this level of elegance.
This is what you expect at, where you have to,
dress up,
put up, dress up. But no, this place, got Jason is
that's a
wearing
$75
his,
dish in Italy there,
shirt,
for sure.
Hawaiian shirt. And I'm going to be digging in on this. I'll do a little dissection during the first break.
Yeah, let's do that.
And then we'll dive in, and I'll do a
so
little
you're at Shenanigans tonight,
review.
you were saying.
But yeah, Shenanigans tonight, or any Saturday, Sunday, or anytime you want to catch good sports. They have great drink specials every day. They have late night food. So if somebody's coming into the airport on a late night flight, you could go there past midnight, get a good meal. Shenanigans is the place for me, place for you. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, coming back with more here. Mike Mayo's going to dissect this fish, which you don't really look. It doesn't look like you have to do too much because the gist of it, the meat that you're going to want to eat is right there and easily, I think, accessible. And the fish and chips outstanding. So Even Keel Fish Shack living up to its billing, and we'll be back with more from the Even Keel in a moment.
All my drinks.
People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox, Mayo, and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans. For 30 years, they've been doing a great job. The original location, West Side, 3303 Sheridan Street, just across from TY Park in Hollywood. Then there's the East Side location, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. You go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late in both locations. Go there. Tell them that the Lunchbox, Mayo, and Defo sent you. From our friends at Visit Lauderdale and Lauderdeals, don't miss Dine Out Lauderdale during August and September in Greater Fort Lauderdale. Dozens of top restaurants are offering amazing 3- and 4-course meals starting at just $35. See all the Dine Out Lauderdale menus from more than 50 participating restaurants online at visitlauderdale.com/deals. More taste sensations are being added daily, so plan your culinary adventure to Greater Fort Lauderdale and get your taste of the good life for less. Dig in now at visitlauderdale.com/deals.
And we're back on an Even Keel Thursday on the Lunchbox.
Wednesday. Oh, it's Thursday, by the way. Sorry.
It's just Thursday? Is it Thursday?
Today is Thursday.
Yeah, he might have put the wrong day up there.
I put Wednesday. We're going forward in the world.
Typically Even Keel Wednesday, but
yeah,
everybody's a little foot-blungered this week with the storm.
Pop that in there a little bit there.
Let me get the.
It's hard to do both. It's hard to do both.
It's hard to eat and talk
and host
at the same time.
But you've mastered it somewhat.
Somehow. I don't know about mastered, but somehow
it's become a big highlight on the show because everybody that I see say, says, does he really eat like that? And I go, no, I mean, you're watching it on video. Right?
No,
can't fake that.
And it's
not edited.
It's one of those weeks where I was penned up, a little cabin fever, a little grumpy the last few days.
Last couple of days, you were off your game. Definitely off your game.
I'm stuck at home with my mother. No, I love my mother.
Every day is a blessing.
Every day is a blessing. And again, we have perspective today. Look at this. I mean, I don't want to feel like guilty or survivor's guilt, but knowing what some people are going through today, and then here we are surrounded by great food and friends and good atmosphere. But you play the hand you're dealt. We ended up being on the fortunate side of things here on South Florida. We want to help in any way we can. Those that are, obviously going through the after effects of the storm. we're going to be doing that in our own separate ways, whatever we can. But for now, we're here. We might as well eat. And Jason, we got Chef Tristan is behind the stove today.
Nice.
Brad and Dave are both taking a little well-deserved time off.
All right, so what's your thought on this?
In front of us a yellowtail snapper, which they flash fried, and they put on this fried crispy kale. And look at this crispy stuff. And a, what do you say? It was like a cream sauce,
like a lemon butter
fennel lemon butter cream sauce.
Yeah,
and it's like, I'm going to just swipe my finger through here. And
well, why not? Yeah, you're the gambling gourmet. I mean, this is the food critic of the Sun Sentinel, and he's eating the raw. I mean,
I dissected a little
whole
bit
fish
of
with
the
his
fish.
hand.
I got a little bit of the lemon again. The little touches here where they get rid of all the pits, so you don't have to worry about squeezing any
pretty
pits.
Cool. Yeah.
There you go. So what do you think? Well, what's the key to the whole fish process anyway? What are you looking for when you? I'm not inclined to order the whole fish because I'm not a fan necessarily of looking at the whole fish and then eating.
Why, you got a problem with him with this little head?
No, but it's not. My go-to thing.
Hey, Defo, why'd you have to fry me?
I just as soon have it filleted for me and already cut up like a steak. But
the thing is, this is a deep fried fish. You see this a lot at Asian restaurants. Oh, it's crispy and brittle.
Well, you also see it at Latin restaurants.
Italian restaurants also pick with the whole fish.
And I'm going into.
So what's the significance? I mean, what do you see? What are the advantages
the cheeks
of it?
and the eyeballs are sometimes.
They're eating the eyeballs?
That's a question. Okay, why do it whole as opposed to slicing it in fillets?
Okay.
Is it more moist this way? Like,
I understand if you cook it in the brown bag and then you do it a certain way, the whole fish has a better effect.
And this is finger food to me when you get a crispy.
See, not to me. I don't know about that.
I feel like it's
in most cultures, this is considered just the supreme delicacy when you drop a whole fish and everybody just starts digging in. And the allure is this. Okay, it's the difference between, let's say, just going to a restaurant and getting a turkey dinner or a turkey club.
Okay.
And Thanksgiving, where you cook the whole bird, and that whole bird, you carve it and slice it, and you could dig in the crevices and use the carcass for soup later on. And you could, just every part of the.
So you're taking that home?
Turkey? No, I'm not taking it. But you know what? Mrs. Mayo, or ex-Mrs. Mayo, or whatever I call her, baby mama.
The one people still find that insulting.
She prefers baby mama. I always slip and call her Mrs. Mayo because she kept my last name. So technically, she's Ms. Mayo.
Well, she has all your money too. So.
Well, his daughter has all his money.
Yeah, she kept her name on your bank account, which is usually the way that works, at least in my experience.
And so now you've totally thrown me off. But basically, she loves making fish stock. Like she'll make sauces and seafood sauces where she'll take the lobster, the whole bits of the shells and the guts of the lobster, and she'll take all like the carcass and the bones of the fish.
The flavor of it.
That's where all the flavor comes out. Like every chef. What do I got?
Have you take this to her? You should take this to.
Do I got schmutz on my face? Is that what's happening? We've got a breeze going today. I don't know if the camera is shaking a little bit.
It's beautiful. Yeah,
it's nothing like what everybody was going through yesterday. But here we are. I love eating. I love eating good food. So it's basically one of these. We're getting to the time of year where hopefully there'll be no more storms and the humidity breaks like it has today. And you just say, this is why we're here.
Yeah.
Because we can enjoy the weather, sit outside, feel the cool breeze, and really just enjoy ourselves. So.
Great outdoor spot. Go ahead, Lubie.
Well, that's what Even Keel reminds me of all the time. And it's not just Even Keel and we're here and we love Even Keel, but this area is so full of really cool restaurants that like Delicacies is a place I used to go to with the professor. Oh, we want that. We want that. Definitely want that.
Yeah.
Those fries are spectacular.
He's going to have the
Delicacies around the corner. It does a really good job. Like there's a lot of places right in this area that people don't get to all the time that do and they all work together. It feels like, like you talk about bringing each other up.
Right.
They do a really good job.
Looking at Taco Craft across the street, our friend Anthony Bruno and Mark Falsetto. They're doing gangbuster business
that place
here.
Looks super cool.
Aruba Beach Cafe has been here a long time.
Yeah.
You could actually eat with your feet in the sand, your toes in the sand.
Does real well. Vinny's, the Italian place.
Aruba, I love because Chris Nealon, I got to go say hi to him. He's been there for over 35 years. I think he's the longest running executive chef at a major restaurant in Broward County. Chris is a sweetheart of a guy. Right down the block, we got Billy Jack Shack.
Defo's.
You got that Vietnamese place that you say is
Basilica is
Yeah.
good. The place that
Spada's, just a block
we
away.
had a
We were
gangbuster show there.
There's a nice Italian
sandwich.
restaurant. Plus,
La
Kizzy's
Capricosa.
also moved nearby.
So this Italian place has some, I guess, like of the
The
Neapolitan
baker
style.
place, right?
What's that?
There's a baked.
There's-
Well,
there's a
goods.
bakery, but
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
talking about right
Okay.
down here.
Oh, yeah.
La
But there's another one just past Billy Jack Shack if you go west.
Okay.
That's really, really good.
The
That's a
one
big
that I've-
favorite of Jersey Kyle's. Yeah.
All right. The one that I've heard
Might
really,
be El Cucina or something like that. I don't know.
The ones I've had really good reviews
La
from a
Cucina?
couple of members of Let's Eat, along with Jim Sarney, is that La Capricosa,
Yeah.
I think, and Northern Italian style, more of the and Neapolitan pizzas. I've got to get in there because I hear great things about it. So
Do
this
you
whole
know
neighborhood-
anything about the relative success or failure of or the reaction to, I
Reef
think it's
and
called
beef?
Mickey's
Now
Mickey's
it's
something?
Mickey's downtown.
It was the Beef and Reef. I used to go in there because a friend of ours, the Marty girl, who was always at the racetracks bartending, she was a bartender there. We went in there for the happy hour. Very good. And actually, the Italian place, I don't know if it's the same concept, but the Italian pizza place that they had that was now, what was the name that you mentioned?
It's
Was
like
it
La
Sonny?
Capricosa.
Yeah, everybody loves that place, but it was good
gotta
before.
I got to get in
it was
there.
Good before.
That's on my list of places to
Yeah.
try. And then there's another roast beef place across the
Got the
street.
sandwich joint.
The roast beef
A lot
joint.
of ice cream here too.
Believe
A lot
it or
of
not,
ice cream.
ice cream.
The
places
roast
are
beef
great.
joint, we have a link because it's a cousin of one of the owners, a cousin of Joey Esposito from
Oh, nice.
Cafe Seville.
Yeah.
So I've been meaning to get in there also and try some of their roast beef sandwiches. Lauderdale by the Sea, happening
It's a
spot,
great area.
hometown of Jeff Defo
Defo.
DeForest.
Right
now,
up the
so-
street. It's fantastic here.
And
Absolutely great.
so I can't, you want to come out on a weekend, place that's maybe hopping, but a little bit off the usual touristy path
Yeah,
of
it's not
Las
hectic.
Olas or the A1, the beach. And again, place like this is why we love being associated with Visit Lauderdale, because the Nikki Mohan and crew, we want to spotlight places that if you're a visitor coming to town or maybe new in town, explore a little bit. Go to some of these mom and pops and, Dave and Brad, longtime restaurant industry types that broke off on their own and started their own place. And they're just in the business jargon killing it here. And we love places like this and Visit Lauderdale now. We're down to the final day of the Dine Out Lauderdale deals that you can find on visitlauderdale.com. If you want to go check out one last night where you could get a 3 or 4 course meal for $35, go online now to visitlauderdale.com/deals, along with things like the spa deals. You could run into a spa today and get yourself a $99 massage. I think everybody's a little tense this week.
Yeah.
But, we're heading
And
into...
this isn't the Bob Kraft $99.
Oh,
no. This is like a legitimate
It's on the up
thing
and up.
where muscle tissue changes
No,
and you
this
feel
is
better about
a
just going outside.
professional
Yeah.
massage
Yeah.
where they will relieve stress, work
Right.
on your muscles that are fatigued,
Yeah.
and all of these things.
You get
And
the
once
rub down. You get
once-
the
oh
rub
yeah,
down.
that feels good. Oh, yeah. So once we get done with the Visit Lauderdale, the September
Well, I'm
Lauder
sure they'll have
deals,
something every month. They have something.
They're
going
gonna come
on.
up with
we're
something new,
going
I
to be
think.
getting into the part of the season where there's festivals, and
Yeah,
we're going to be doing a lot of work with the. Now it's called the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival. Our friends Phil and Kate, that we did some work with them.
You did a
last
great job last year.
and you can go online to their website and start buying tickets in advance. They give some good discounts. It's all part of the Visit Lauderdale promotions. Everyone under the sun, every dish under the sun. Come on out, explore. Go to visitlauderdale.com/deals to look and see the remaining days, the ways you can save.
This is a great example, too, this Lauderdale by the Sea area here, of the amazing choices that we have
Yes.
in terms of dining out here in South Florida. Why it's
Yeah.
almost impossible to cover every aspect of it, even on a show like this,
Yeah.
where, you could rattle off 20 restaurants, in the hour that we're on the air. But almost impossible to touch on all of it because we have so much of it. And very, very lucky to have this kind of choice and, and plentiful supply in almost every place that you go here in South Florida. So glad that we went unscathed. And as you said,
Yeah, thank God.
it's nice that we were able to do this today here and celebrate. Maybe that's what we should do with
Every
a
day.
little feeling in mind for the people on the West Coast. Because that's also a great place to visit.
Oh my God.
Doesn't have the
Beautiful there.
intensity and the density of restaurants and choices, but a lot of people go over there and have their favorite places there on the West Side, and it's unfortunate.
And
Yeah. What happened? We were going to say that our buddies with Texas Roadhouse, our good friend Ed Garcia, who's a regional manager for Texas Roadhouse Restaurants, does a tremendous job. And it's another example when you talk to a guy and you can just feel the passion of the company.
Yeah.
And then it's reflected in the way that each individual place makes their presentation. But they got smacked, and they're very popular over there, Texas Roadhouse Restaurants. I'm not sure how many locations they have, a couple.
I know they have a few, and they got hit sort of hard, and we're thinking about them.
So, yeah,
today.
we're thinking about them as well.
About everybody. And again, one day they will be back and welcoming visitors. Right now, they're going to be in survival mode, reconstruction mode, rebuilding mode.
Yeah.
We're with them. In the meantime, come on over here and for a rest or a respite. I know that sometimes when we had our storms, and I was without power for like 5 days. Some people 21 days.
You must have really got
during
grumpy without power for 5 days.
Michelle was pregnant and 33 weeks pregnant. We were like 3 weeks away from Natalia.
That was another subtle complication.
So I was sent out.
And you were at the track the whole time?
No, I was at the Hard Rock. They had the generators going.
There you go. So you were gambling while she was pregnant and in the dark.
No power.
I was the hunter-gatherer because I would go there and they had all the restaurants and the food going. So I would go there. All right, maybe I might spend an hour or two at the poker table.
It took you 4 hours to come back.
And then I would come back with all this fresh, hot food. You know, you got to get into survival hunter-gatherer mode when the power is out. You find out. The other thing I remember during Wilma, because Weston was the only place that had power because they have an underground electric grid.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of restaurants were open in Weston. So I would make the journey out there, and there was a couple of places that I scouted out from my news reporting days. That I knew had food, and so I would go out there also and bring back the food until we got the power back and were able to start cooking again at home after we used up everything in the freezer and on the grill. And the gas grill is always a big friend during the post-hurricane storm.
Oh, no doubt about it, yeah. Anyway, we were spared, and we were lucky because we're here at Even Keel today. The Lauderdale's just fantastic. Last day to take advantage of it. So, I mean, go to 6 different places today if you haven't tried them out, because that was a
Max and the Catherine.
fabulous opportunity. And we'll be back with more Even Keel. I'm just looking at some of the stuff here. I know you're big on the oysters, Mike Mayo. I haven't seen you down on oysters.
What I'm interested in is they usually have, you do a tuna pokey. They're doing a wahoo pokey.
Wahoo
pokey. Yeah, wahoo is amazing.
Wahoo.
Oh, a big giant fish, a good game fish to catch also. Yeah. All right, back with more from the Even Keel on Mike Mayo's Lunchbox.
You like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, Even Keel Fish Shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. Looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more? Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
Hey, we're back on the Lunchbox, and look who's here. Chef Brad from Even Keel.
What's going on, Mike?
We're good. I see that, you guys are back. You did the safe precaution thing yesterday where you kind of shut down early because it was wind was whipping a little bit.
Yeah, and it wasn't so much. I mean, the weather. Thank goodness. I mean, we pray for everybody on the West Coast. That was, it's still happening. It's terrible. Well, we got really lucky over here. But yeah, we wanted to not protect ourselves, protect our guests, because that's pretty much what it's about. We didn't want people coming out and not being totally safe. But
yesterday was a hunkered down day. We still had some squalls, and now today it feels like the first day of autumn in South Florida.
Yeah, it's like the humidity kind of just got all sucked up, and it's beautiful out.
It's a beautiful thing, and we're counting our blessings on this side. We're going to do everything we can to support those in need on the other side. So meanwhile, I wanted to talk to you because it was great because we got set up. Chef Tristan and Jason, he brought out first the fish and chips because I was singing the praises. That it's a beer battered fish and chips.
I love that.
Like mahi, right?
Right. Well, it's whatever our fishermen bring us. So we've done mahi. We've done mahi before. We've actually done kingfish before, which has been really, really great. We've done swordfish fish and chips. We've done snapper fish and chips.
This
is mahi.
Right.
This is mahi.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
So fresh that a lot of times when you taste a fish and chip, sometimes it's a little dry on this side. This is like,
and it's
so succulent.
It's totally
it's so big and
and it's totally because we're willing to just deal. We're just use whatever what we're getting. So we don't have to. It's not sitting. It's not. Oh, we're not even keeping it overnight or 2 days. It's whatever our guys are bringing us every day.
Okay, let me ask you. Mayo talked about it, and I'll ask you. And we do this at the Colombian place by us, and my wife loves the whole fish.
Sure.
For you when it comes to a piece of fresh fish or an entire fish?
Yeah.
What is the differentiation for you, just as a chef, as an eater?
I mean, well, a couple things like snapper's obviously really, really great. It's the flakiness. And it's also the ease of eating it. I mean, it still has all the bones in it.
Yeah.
But snapper's bones for the size of the fish are actually a little bit bigger than most smaller fish. So they don't get stuck. They don't get stuck in your teeth, or you don't end up accidentally swallowing one or something like that. Yeah. So we just prefer it. And plus it's readily abundant. 10 feet offshore here.
I'm melting because I just tasted. I swiped the fish through the sauce again.
Yeah.
Describe the sauce again. It's like crispy kale and
it's a reduction of cream, but it's infused with a ton of fennel, a little bit of sweet onion. And then to add a little saltiness to it, we throw a bunch of olives and capers into it as well. And then finish with lemon juice. I mean, it is incredibly simple. A lot of white wine. It's incredibly simple, but the slow process of just slowly letting it reduce and let all those flavors come together.
This doesn't, again, when it's a whole fish, I say it's like a communal food, but it's finger food.
Yeah.
You got to swipe and then get it and then put it on here.
That's not finger food.
All food becomes finger food after you have 7 Bloody Marys.
Well,
that's usually what happens.
That's a different story.
It's so good because you get the combination, you get the crispiness from the kale. There was, tenderness of the fish. I'm spitting now.
It's got a little bit of saltiness. It's got a little bit of sweetness. It's got obviously a little creaminess, and then the amazing local fish too on top of that.
And what I appreciate in the little touches here, which I was mentioning before you got here, just the way that you cook a lemon so there's no pits, so that you can just squeeze it without. I mean, like that's the touches here at Even Keel that makes all the difference in the world.
Well, and what I love about you guys and a lot of the places we found out here, you guys you keep the mainstays, but you'll tinker. We Mr. Tinker. I love tuna poke's become like a staple down here in South Florida. I love that you're now going with wahoo poke, which is a huge South Floridian fish.
Again, it's because it's caught right off the coast here. So like if we're not getting tuna that's freshly local, we're going to use wahoo.
Beautiful.
If we're not getting, if for whatever reason we're not getting wahoo or tuna off the coast, we've actually done a salmon pokey, which is really, really nice from the Northwest.
Yep.
Which isn't local, but it's definitely changes it up a little bit.
You get all the good fresh, good purveyors. Right. Get it from. So, let's talk about, you recently went on a journey. I don't know if it's a pilgrimage. I mean, it's funny because here we are, me, Defo, Lubie, 3 Jews. I've never been to Israel.
I have. It's amazing.
You have. Okay.
And I'm not Jewish. And I still went. Yeah, I've had a fascination with that place for a long. I'm a big history buff. And obviously I love the food from over there. I've got a bunch of friends from the Pushkar and all those guys that are kind of from that area, that hemisphere. But no, it was an amazing trip. It was very spiritual. It was a little self-growth
the
thing.
History. Do you go there with just kind of for picking up some food and culinary things?
You know what? It's more or less about tasting the different ingredients. To be honest, we ate a lot of falafel.
Yeah.
We ate a lot of shawarma.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Hummus and everything.
There's a lot of places that serve the same thing. It's
Yeah.
just the way that they prepare it is kind of the difference. So I definitely wanted to see some of the local lamb, which was incredible, very lean. Obviously, it's all the meats over there are very lean because it's in the desert, so there's not a lot of they're not stuffing their face with corn like they do over here.
What do they have in the way? Of course, like Jews who follow the kosher or dietary rules don't eat shellfish, but in the way of fish, did you try any kind of good fish?
Actually, we were at the Sea of Galilee for a hot minute, which was probably one of the most beautiful places I've ever been in my life. And they have a main staple of fresh tilapia there, which tilapia's always grossed me out. You hear about it over here, and it's just people throw it in their swimming pool, people throw it in their ponds and stuff. So to eat all the, but yes, that was an experience. I was a little standoffish, but the way they actually did it, they did a fried tilapia kind of just like this. It was really, really incredible. The pita, which is obviously you can't go wrong, but the coolest thing about the whole thing was the spices. Like the za'atar.
They use a lot of
my
spices,
gosh, the za'atar. We went to. I got a couple pictures I'll share with you on from the market in Tel Aviv and in Jerusalem. It was really, really, really incredible.
Nice. So I guess that's what I'm going to ask is, are you going to now have some za'atar?
Yeah, we got to do something.
Appetizers or we'll play around.
We got to get some. Yeah, we got to get definitely spice some things up here.
Now I've never thought of like the ways that you can play with different things, like maybe a scallop. Would za'atar go with a scallop dish?
Yeah, we could do that, or even. A scallop would be really, really nice.
It'd be cool, something different.
Yeah,
I've always like thinking of different
or
things.
maybe like a skewer, like a shrimp skewer with
za'atar and some of those things. Yeah, that
and
maybe make an Israeli couscous,
or a little bit of naan bread, like serve with a little bit of naan bread. You could make like a little fajita
kind of
thing.
That's the beauty of travel. You always pick up new different things, different cultures, and
the world is as small as you say it is when you meet somebody that maybe you haven't seen in a long time, whatever. But it is really a massive place, and it's a very, very cool place.
Did you get to go all around Jerusalem?
We went Tel Aviv, Galilee, all the way to the Dead Sea. Got to swim in the Dead Sea. Nice. I got some salt. Brought some salt back from the Dead Sea, which was incredible. And then up to Jerusalem to finish it off in 4 days.
Well, that's fantastic. Glad that you were able to get away during the summer months when everybody needs a little bit of a rest and a recharging.
That's exactly what it was.
I think we're almost out of time. Is that right, Lubie? We got 1 minute left. I just want to thank you again for always being
was amazing.
My pleasure. I love having you guys here.
Gracious host, supportive of the show. I urge everybody, now that the weather hopefully is finally breaking a little bit, come on out here. Again, the weekends you have the brunches going with got the bottomless drinks.
Got the bottomless cocktail, all that stuff. We've got Muscle Mondays still going on, and then we got our $2 oysters on Tuesdays still.
Beautiful, beautiful things going on at Even Keel Fish. A1A Commercial Boulevard, beautiful, breezy Lauderdale by the sea. Always a pleasure, Brad. Thanks, you so much.
Thank you, man.
We'll see you next month, and everybody tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. Another remote edition from Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. They're going to try to smother me in cheese and onions. We'll see what happens. Oh yeah, absolutely.
We'd love to have
The more the
merrier. Wants to challenge, see how many he can eat.
They want to just kill me with platters of food these days, Brad. It's not easy being me.
I can't tell you my food.
Thanks a lot, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Wicked Cheesesteaks today. Even Keel. Come on out. Support Brad and Dave. Remember to enjoy every fried fish, fish and chips, and enjoy every sandwich.